B, our beautiful B. This is an open letter to Miss Beyonce, Queen B. B, what has happened to thee? Did you and your husband really just do a concert to benefit Hillary Clinton? I mean, crooked Hillary of all people. And then when you gave this free concert, you barely filled up a quarter of the arena in which the free concert was held. That should have been a big hit and a half for your ass, as they say, that Hillary is not desired at all, that she would have to pull you guys out because she couldn't win her own party's nomination in a fair fight. She had to screw Bernie Sanders over. I mean, really, B? Really, B? Our beautiful B. Let's backtrack to February of this year, shall we? You came out and slayed it and laid it down like the Black warrior, princess of all time, a direct heir of the Black Panther, slaying it and laying it down for your people. And now you are about to trade your inheritance for what? I'm not even sure you're going to get a bowl of soup out of it. Crooked Hillary and her husband and their minions have not even made their money honestly. They're not even in the same category as you and your husband. Whether people agree with your music styles or your messaging or your imagery or some of these other things, they can all agree you made your money honestly. Not like the Clintons. B, what has happened to thee? Let's take a quick rundown of you and Hillary, shall we? I mean, B, I'm sure you are teaching your daughter that she's supposed to be honest, that she's not supposed to lie, that she's not supposed to cheat, steal, bend the law. I remember when you were 14 or 15, you claimed to be a Christian, and you said you would never compromise your Christianity. So in a loving, respectful, yet firm way, I, your sister in Christ, not to mention your skinfolk, okay, who definitely wants to be your kinfolk in the sense that we both care about our people, I have to remind you that that's exactly what's on the line, is your Christianity. And I'm sure that you don't want your little one to be compromising hers at all. So let's go ahead and take a trip down memory lane to remind you who Hillary really is. This lady, as I said earlier, couldn't even win her own party's nomination in a fair fight. She had to rig it to shut down Bernie Sanders, okay? Now, she's under FBI indictment, and she should be in jail. Had anyone else done even 1/10 of what I'll say 1/1,000,000th of what she did, with one email, they would be in jail. There are people who are in jail right now for doing far less. Why isn't she in jail? Okay? Then, even as First Lady, she was embroiled in situation after situation after situation. It got so bad that Clinton, her husband, Bill Clinton's White House administrative staff, asked him to ask her to get out of the White House. Okay, that doesn't mean move out, but it meant stop interfering in the administration business. That's how bad it was. And don't forget, he named her as health czar. And the only thing that came out of him naming her health czar was $32 million waste of taxpayer dollars. I guess that's better than the $6 billion loss of money that has occurred under her as Secretary of State. $6 billion of that budget gone missing. Nobody knows where it is. But I bet if they looked at the Clinton Foundation, they'd have a pretty good idea. Speaking of the Clinton Foundation, and both of us sharing a love for black people, I know you have to be aware that Hillary and her husband have taken the money that was meant for the Haitians, black people, to rebuild their nation, and they have taken all of that money and they have used it for totally inappropriate and unlawful, illegal means. This isn't conjecture, like some people calling Trump a bigot, okay? This is documented fact, well-documented fact. The only reason why she's not in jail today is because of that bastard in the White House who's continuing to protect her because they're both part of the global elitist empire. Then, if the fact that she stole billions of dollars from black people wasn't enough, she has called black people super predators and perennial ne'er-do-wells. I mean, I'm sure after she appeared on stage with you and your husband, she went home and took an acid bath. Because the last thing she's interested in doing is improving anything for black people and can't stand black people, period. Speaking of black people, some more. Don't forget that her sexual predator husband may have an outside child that neither one of them is claiming at this point. They're not saying that he's going to take a DNA test. They're not owning up to the fact that this young man may be Bill Clinton's son. They're simply not saying anything. And for black people to allow Hillary Clinton to take such disrespectful, blatant disrespectful steps in ignoring a black child that may belong to Bill Clinton. I mean, how do you justify that, B? I mean, how do you justify that? Okay? And if that's not enough, have you and your husband, in particular Mr. Jay-Z, who's from the streets, I mean, that's all we hear from Mr. Jay-Z about is that the fact he's from the streets, in fact, making all this money hasn't changed the fact that he's from the streets and hasn't changed his street mentality. Have you forgotten the fact that Bill Clinton's 3 strikes law has put millions of black men in jail behind a nickel bag with no hope of ever surfacing again? So that means it's taking them 3 millions of black men workers out of the economy. It's broken up millions of black men's families. It's resulted in millions of black children with no father. It's taken millions of black voters off the voter registration because they're not allowed to vote if they are in jail, something that I believe should be changed. On top of that, while they are put in jail for a nickel bag and for largely crimes that involve no violence, white folks have industrialized marijuana use, and now they're trying to legalize it in all 50 states so they can corporatize it and make money off the very same thing they put black people in jail for. B. I mean, can you go in your hive maybe and rethink this? Okay? Then, if all of these other things are not enough for you, you are hanging around with a woman whose body count, the body count of her opposition and her friends, is astounding. Not only has she killed millions of people abroad with her faulty foreign policies such as ISIS, I mean, she's the creator of ISIS, but then you can look at Whitewater, you can look at Vince Foster, you can look at just recently this year, a young man who was in her camp suddenly murdered, okay, and it was murder, he wasn't robbed. Anything that a robber would want on him was still on this person. B. Earlier this year, if I can remind you, you came out and you said, y'all haters corny with that Illuminati mess. We all jumped on board because we were like, right, okay? That is them folks blank, and we're not getting involved with that, right? And you celebrated our fly and our cocky fresh. Now you are hand in hand with one of the most wicked women on the planet, if not the most wicked woman on the planet. And you are giving her your brand, and you are giving her your style. When if she was all that, she ought to be able to do it on her own. Didn't you do it on your own? This is not a regular election, B. There's a lot of people who just don't get it. They don't know what time it is. They don't realize we're living in the last days, and in fact, we're living in the last minutes of the last hours of the last days. They don't get that their salvation is on the line. You may not get that your salvation is on the line. But if you tell me you want a woman that your daughter can look up to, then that really should be you. It certainly should not be a multi-felon who's married to a sexual predator, who hates black people, and who has spent her entire 30-plus year career trying to dismantle the country that she lives in. B, what has happened to thee? I will sincerely keep you in my prayers, sincerely keep your husband in my prayers, and your child in my prayers, hoping that as the Lord has promised to pour out his Spirit upon all flesh, you will be willing receptacles. Wow. Okay, B, let's get in formation. Prove to us you got some coordination. Okay?